Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Major League Gaming World Finals live here from New Orleans. Benson joined by TP and Maven at the analysis desk, and we're happy to say, finally, the game of Optic Gaming versus Team Infused is about to get underway. You can see all the OG players there, headsets on and at the ready. Scott just doing some last-second class adjustments before, of course, heading into that Hardpoint Detroit. Teep, we talked about it briefly before that commercial break. We expect to see OG come out the gate very, very strong.
Yeah, especially after this long wait. Sorry for the wait, guys. A little bit of issues going on, but it is time to finally start.
Right.
MLG Worlds, I'm super excited about it. I think this first map is going to set the precedent of how OG is going to play for this entire tournament.
You know, Ben, during the break, I think he was scared to say it on
camera here we
earlier,
go.
but
here
Ben
we go.
actually has predicted
this is
an
untrue.
Infused
This is
3-0,
untrue.
led by a dominating Game 1 performance by Urban, in which they're going to win 250-50 against Optic Gaming.
What a blowout.
Yeah, that's what Ben said during the Hex interview.
Yeah, dude, I said Krim was going to go 0-50 too. Maven just neglected to say that.
I did.
Yeah, best player in the game, you know, statistically speaking.
Just
when
gonna
you look
goose.
at
Just gonna
average
goose.
placements of first. But yeah, he's going to come out and drop it. Absolutely not. We're all expecting OG to come out very, very fast. The question for me is, how is Infused going to react to that? Are we going to see them come out and try and apply pressure with pressure, fight aggression with aggression, or will they potentially just kind of curl up in a little ball in the fetal position in the corner of a Detroit and just kind of crumble? Hopefully not. But Crim6, of course, the man we were just talking about, really looks focused and ready to go. You just see, well, what is it actually like? I wanted to ask you this, TV. It seems I actually have you here. What's it like teaming with Krim just before a game's getting going? What does he say anything? Does he like sort of get you hyped, or is it just like sheer focus?
Pretty much focus. There's times where he'll try and get hyped, but he's just, I don't want to say like mellow-mannered, but he's just focused on the game, making sure everyone knows what the heck's going on. I think, but overall, on this Detroit is all about the garage hill. Yep. Rotate to that. That's what you need. That's if Infused is going to have a chance on this map, you have to win that one.
Yep, that's going to be it. Of course, this map number 1 is going to be Hardpoint Detroit, expecting a lot of fast-paced aggression from both these two teams, but really Optic Gaming, the squad that we think could potentially take it. And as you said, that garage Hardpoint deep is going to be absolutely massive. Second to last hill as well over at Yellow. We've seen a couple of teams lock that down for the full amount of time, and that's really where I think, you know, we could maybe see Infused try and hold it down. I think you force Optic Gaming to come down, you know, small channels. Maybe you can pick them up, pick up a couple of kills very quickly at least. Maybe even take map number 1, but overall not likely. For now, over to Christopher Puckett and Mr. X for your casting.
Thank you, Benson. It is time to kick this one off. Of course, Detroit Hardpoint going to be map number 1, and we're going to be opening things up with Infused. Matt, this is a squad that we saw really shock a lot of people with their performance back at Gfinity, and it was really Urban who caught our eye. He had an ace against FaZe on this map, but of course that was an S&D.
Yeah, he looked impressive at the Gfinity 100K, but you know, Mark B starting off 5-1. Just want to talk about him a little bit. He's had a weird Advanced Warfare, you know, been on some good teams, they've done some nice things, and then he ends up just getting dropped, finding himself trying to find a new squad. Coming on to this Infused team, you expect them to do pretty big things. Zero, new player they added from Epsilon. Going to be looking to see how he shows up here at MLG World Finals.
Now, we saw Urban running about at previous tournaments. It looks like that is going to be Marky B's job, as Urban is going to be going purely ASM1 up to this point. Marky's going to get every last second. Meanwhile, the rotation is already won by Infused. Optic Gaming, though, has control of those spawns. It looks like everyone's going to fall in your kill feed. It's nothing but blue. Urban, some sloppy shots. We'll be able to take down Karma, but there's just too much pressure. We'll see if Marky B can retaliate. Not going to happen. Optic with an early retake.
You know, Infused gets there early, and they're able to get control of the hill. They just don't push out the back, and that's really what lost them that one. I believe it was Crim6 in the back of green, ended up winning a gunfight, and then you see the rest of Optic just flood in, take this green hill. Formal putting on a show here, 8-3 on a 4 streak. No, he is so good with the ASM1 or the Bow. It really doesn't matter, and I think that's, you kind of toss around Clayster, Formal, Clayster, Formal. I think that's the one thing that Formal probably has a little bit of edge on Clay. You know, the ability to use the submachine gun a little bit better. And on a map like this, it's perfect for Optic Gaming.
Optic Gaming now with the lead in the game. It took about 2 minutes to get here, but 44-33, they will have the control. The rotation's going down. Optic is going to win it, but here's the fight, and it looks like Urban's causing problems. Now Zero gets into the garage, and they're going to be controlling the spawns down low. Scump up top, waiting for the pressure, picks up 2, looking for a 30, is going to get that one before falling. Over to Formal, who's going to have this bow looking on mid-street, but he doesn't know the pressure is already up its way.
It's a big gunfight, though, that Formal just wins right there. He's able to get the spawns for Optic, and now they can just flood up this garage ramp. They should be able to take control of this one. And this is where, if you're Infused, you needed to win that rotation. If you're able to hold garage, you can make it a pretty close game. Now you see Optic blowing it open. And this is how they blow teams out in hardpoint, Chris. They just get an early lead, and then you're forced to just play for that garbage time. And then they can rotate really late. I mean, they can just play for everything. They can outgun you on the next hill. And then you start to see some pretty ugly scores.
And I have Scump highlighted there on your mini-map. He was on another 3 streak. The man is opening up 15-8. Staying on board, though, with Crim6. Not the captain, that's Scump, but Crim6 definitely the in-game leader of this squad.
I would say Crim, he doesn't have the captain title, but I would say he is pretty close to as a captain as you can get. I think, for Optic Gaming, he's going to be the one making most of the decisions throughout the weekend. Scump, he can just focus on slaying. That's really what they want him and Formal to do. And Karma, I think, Maven was saying it before, I think he has the potential to have a really good event. I mean, he's been playing better online. They haven't been streaming a lot of their things, trying to hide some strats going into this weekend. I think Karma, if he plays how, we've seen Karma play in the past, they can go on to win this event pretty easily. It's just really going to come down to how he plays.
Of course, this is the second largest tournament of the year as we close out Advanced Warfare, second only behind the $1 million tournament back in March. We take a look at Urban, and that is 3 down from our UK squad. 0 will be the 4th, and Scump, he's doing most of the damage once again. 19, make it 20-10, double positive on another 4 streak, his 3rd of this game.
You are not going to break this hill by running 1 by 1 through the door directly at Scump. He's just going to pre-aim it and just kill you every single time. And now Infused, they are in a world of trouble. I mean, they're going to get control of this school hill here last, but they need a miracle to come back in this game.
Just want to see how long is Scump going to survive, and he will be shut down as soon as he tries to break. 3 go down for Optic Gaming. Karma, last man up, throws out both nades. And he's going to have to wait for the retaliation. The nade's coming right back at him. Won't be able to bust through 0 with a good hold with Petey. And honestly, I think it's going to be up to Petey to have a massive series if Infused wants to stay in this matchup. He's been explosive in the past, but you never know what you're going to get out of this, man. He, quite unpredictable play.
Yeah, I mean, Maven made a great point. I mean, TCM at Anaheim last year, they got 3rd. Petey, big part of that, and Gunshi as well. But if they're going to have any chance to win this series, Petey's going to have to step up. He's going to have to slay. 0, you're looking at him too. Newer player to the scene. I think Epsilon took a chance on him when they picked him up. Then after that, they kind of just dissolved as a team. I think he's a real big part of this Infused squad as well. And they actually make it, I don't want to say close going into the second half, but compared to what the score was, they're clawing back into this. You get 20, 30 seconds here on this first hill. You win one of those 2 rotations, whether to green or garage, and you're right back in this game.
Now, the big change I want you to note is Urban has switched from the ASM-1 to the bow. He's going to bring back out his SMG for this hard point. But look and see if he continues to go with that assault rifle in addition of Marky B, or is he going to stay with the SMG? When he has the bow in hand, I think that's when Urban is his most dangerous.
Oh, without a doubt. I think Marky B, though, he's probably just a little bit more comfortable with the AR on this map. That's probably why you're seeing Urban having to switch, because against a team like Optic, who's going to put so much pressure, you can't really be just standstill with an AR on this map. You're going to need to have more sub-pressure, and it puts Infused in a really difficult spot, because you take one of your better players, with an assault rifle, you have to throw a sub in his hand. And right now, don't want to say he's underperforming. You usually see him put up bigger numbers with an AR. He's still playing fairly well for being in a tough spot, 21-27. But you'd expect bigger numbers from him. There you see he's got the AR out now.
Here is Urban trying to post up. He's going to have to fight against Formal in this position. Karma going to try and loop back around. Urban knows the pressure's coming, sets up properly, and look how tricky Karma's being. Just pulls Urban out of position while his teammates come swarming in, and Karma does so many plays like that. You don't always have to get the stats to have a big performance here for this squad.
He just consistently makes smart plays. I mean, he's not going to be, the top slayer on this team. With Crim, Formal, and Scump, it's rarely going to happen. And if it does, they're probably going to lose those games because one of the others is having an awful performance. But plays like that is why you pick up Karma, why you want him on your team. Just waits in that school doorway, just buys his team enough time to really flank and get around to that back trail area, and they were able to take the remaining time on that hill, and they're going to rotate early to garage. They're going to have control of this. This is gunfights that Infused needs to win. Zero's going to win 1, but he's got guys challenging upstairs in the garage. They're actually going to get some nice big gunfight wins right there out of some teammates, and they're able to hold this, they can make this a pretty close game going into the final 2 hills.
Urban got a little too aggressive for my liking there. This is definitely the closest the game has been outside your first 2 minutes. About 40 points separating the 2 squads, but Optic has regained control. Urban's got to break the top. Crim finally going to fall. There's 2 more players inside, though, and Urban runs out of ammo at the worst time. Zero comes flooding in, but he'll be dropped as well. Formal and Karma locking it down at the top. We'll go back over to Formal, who's now rotating out with the bow.
Infused was doing such a good job. And then you just saw every kill in the kill feed for about 2 full spots go in Optic's favor, and now you see the game starting to get blown open. If you're Infused, you got to start to rotate towards that next hill. You got to push straight through Garage now that you have control of it, and get control of that back alley. If you don't get that, I think Optic's going to run away with this one.
Crim6, key player, Urban. Rotating from the old hill is going to find players in transition. Gets one. Scump's inside. They got to get to Scump right away. He was the real threat last time they were on this hard point. And in comes Urban. He continues to light it up. Almost positive now on a 4 streak, making a 5-6 right here, but he won't be able to find Karma. PD jumps in, finishes the first. Marky B rotating in support, but you see how far out these spawns are. Matt, 90 seconds left, and this is a 30-point game.
There's still a ton of time left on this hill as well. You see PD win a big gunfight there against Scump. They should be able to hold this for at least another 10 seconds. So they win another round of gunfights against Optic, and this is going to be near a tie game going into the final hill.
Big melee from PD. He's pre-firing, gets the second. Urban in the kill feed once again as well. Is this going to happen, Matt? Can Infuse steal game number 1 against our number 1 seed in this tournament?
We've seen Optic have trouble with this sometimes. They get out to such an early lead that they just slow down mid-game. They start to get a little bit sloppy, and you see Infuse make this a really close one. It's going to be Zero in control of the final hill, going to throw some nades back alley. See Urban in the kill feed, winning a gunfight with the AR. You're going to need him to go big in the mid-street. They're going to try and lock this down.
Zero's been spotted, but Formal accidental team kill on Crim6. 3 more red kills. Zero staying alive, and he continues to score. They are 5 points behind Optic. It's a tie game, and there you have the first lead after the opening hard points. Infused trying to lock it down. Zero with the nasty 2-piece. Urban again in the kill feed with 2 of his own.
This is if Optic were to lose this one, this is a loss that's just unexplainable. I mean, you have such a large early lead, and then you just let Infused claw back into it, but contention going down in the hill. Optic gonna get control of it, Chris. Now,
it's done.
Gonna be broken, but
it
is done.
Infused has taken out Optic Gaming on Detroit Hardpoint. One of the biggest comebacks we have seen in AW against the top squad.
You can't lose a game like that. I mean, Infused just played amazing second half, but it was Optic who, they get out to that really big early lead, and then they just let Infused claw back into the game. It was really the end of the first rotation where you saw it wasn't close, but it was that 150 to 89. And with how they were playing that first half, you'd expect the score to be drastically further in Optic's favor, and then the second half they just played really sloppy and let Infuse just come right back and take it.
We talked about what is it going to take to beat Optic Gaming. Well, you got to get them down, and you look at those faces. They're all a bit frustrated after that first performance. You look at some of the numbers. Urban, rough start, finishes a 1.03, the highest on the squad, the only player to go positive, 39 and 38. But PD at the end, 13 captures, 3 big defends, including that melee over in yellow. A great comeback there from Infused.
His play in yellow was the play of the game. I mean, they were down about 30 seconds going into there. He was alive by himself. I think he killed one outside window, then went to the back and just meleeed another. And you see Formal putting up some massive numbers for OG, 44 and 32. Scump, 36 and 33. Crim and Karma, about where you usually see them. Crim didn't have a good game, really at all, 27-38. Usually see him about closer to even. And then on the other side, for Infused, nobody really going massive. I mean, PD with some clutch gunfight wins in that yellow hill like we talked about. Urban picked it up towards the end, but crazy game 1 here.
It's a best of 5 here in pool play. We'll be back after the commercial break. S&D recovery when we return.